Okay. Alright, we are officially live. What's going on, everybody? This is Father Panda returning after a year hiatus of just completely, not on the channel at all. It's been a wild ride, and I'm glad to be back. It's been a wild ride, and I'm glad to be back. Okay. The audio is working good. That's good. I'm doing this War Mine. I thought it was a very chill game to do. I have all the scenarios. I only survived one because I haven't played this game in a long time. So I think I'm just gonna go down the line. I'm gonna start with Pavle, Bruno, Marco, see how far I get in the allotted time. And just in case you missed it, all of my streams on Twitch will be uploaded to YouTube. And so in case you ever miss one, you could always go to the channel, the Night Wolves, same name, and you can watch it that way. So, how long has this siege lasted? It's hard to say. When every day is a struggle for survival, the city is crawling with snipers. Shelling is ordinary business almost every night. Phones don't work, there is a shortage of food and meds, and many people are left homeless. Bruno and Marco have always been good friends, so when the war broke out, they decided to stick together. They met Pavle while scavenging for supplies. He used to be Porrigan's star football player, and now he's just another homeless victim of war. So they teamed up, hoping for the best. Alright, so Pavle is sick, Bruno is wounded, and Marco is perfectly fine, which is good because he is going to be our main scavenger. And because, and mainly due to his attribute, which is skilled scavenger, meaning he can carry up to 15 items. So we definitely want to take him out scavenging, we want to keep him healthy, along with everybody else, which is good, but we also have Pavle is a good runner-up if Marco is, say, too tired, and perhaps if we need, if we're going to be raiding someplace with bandits, we definitely want Pavle because he's an ex-football player. He's a good runner. So he's one of the he's the fastest character in the game, but he can only carry about 12 items. So we definitely want him to just go for raids if we're really going that far. The problem with that is that him and Pavle and Marco have low morality. And what that means is, basically, if we do something undesirable, like stealing, killing, etc., they are going to be in a much less desirable emotional state, for lack of a better word. They're going to be more sad, they're going to become depressed, and unfortunately if they could become broken, then that just does not bode well for anybody. Because when someone is broken, they have a chance to either commit suicide, or worse, leave the shelter and steal supplies on the way out. And there are a few characters that can do that in the roster. Now, I made it this far, but I haven't talked about Bruno. Now, Bruno is his attribute is a good cook, because he had his own cooking show. And I'll read through all the bios on day 2. Right now, I just want to clear out as much debris as possible, get the shelter looking good, definitely get a bed, because we got 2 people in need of recovery, but since they're only slightly, which is good, they only need to just rest for a few days and then they'll be fine. So I'm actually going to do that now because it's 12 o'clock. I'm going to make a bed, and they'll be... I usually make them down here for this house setup, just because they're out of the way. I like to keep more important things upstairs. So when when Pablo's finished making the bed, ooh, bandages, that's awesome. When Pablo's finished making the bed, he's gonna sleep. And I want to make a metal workshop right next to the crafting bench, because I'm gonna make a shovel and some lockpicks. And what that'll do is, see, with this debris, you see that it's taking absolutely forever to clear through. It takes, I think, a little over 2 minutes, but I wouldn't know off the top of my head. Alright, so you sleep. And with the shovel, it takes only a few seconds. So it's definitely a really good item to have, like a shovel you want to create like your first day. Yeah, so do we have another lockpick? We do, so I'm going to actually open up this cabinet. And I never understood this barred door here because it just leads to the outside. I think you can barricade this area. Ooh, medicine, that's awesome. That is really good. Medicine advantages, they're some of the hardest things to come by, so you really want to, if you can get lucky and get them early on, it's really helpful. Especially when we have two people that are sick and wounded. We can't make anything now. Material-wise, nope, we can't make anything. I definitely want to make a rainwater collector very early on, and a stove. Alright, ooh, yes, debris. So let's... Now you get to see how quickly this shovel can just get through debris. Nope, I miss it pudding. Water, good. Electrical parts, herbs. I'm getting really lucky with this house layout. Like I got a lot of good items coming around. Did we check in here? We did. I'm just gonna Birdo jump down. Oh, Pablo, you're going back to sleep. Back to sleep. Ooh, more water. We got parts, regular parts, electrical parts, and more herbs. We have... Let me go over the items. So we got some raw food, which is good, but it's definitely not enough for what we're looking for. We have components, parts, wood, clean water, books, which is good because it can help boost morale. And I apologize if I'm getting a little discombobulated. It's been a while since I did a commentary. Well, I did any stream, any video or that. I've been uploading shorts a lot, which has been really nice. I actually like doing the shorts. They're fun, and they're also really nice to kind of go back to memory lane, almost, if that makes sense. Just to see where the Unleashed Beast and I have come, like how far we've come, and then with my lovely girlfriend Sammy. It's nice to get her involved as well, because the three of us just have such a great rapport that it just makes things ever so, it makes things more fun, more funny, more engaging. Oh, that is a, oh my god, that is a, I've never noticed that. That is a dead body. That is, okay, we're not gonna look at that. I never actually noticed that. That is creepy. But also, I kind of get it, because we're on wartime. Is that another one? Yeah, that's another one. So it just goes to show, like, they, even if, like, they just came to this place, they didn't really have time to scope it all out. Okay, so, this is a interesting layout. We have the church, the quiet house, and the looted gas station. So, we're definitely going to the gas station. The quiet house we're not going to touch, because there is an older couple living there, and you can steal from them. But if you steal, I think if you just steal the meds, I don't know if you just steal the meds or if you steal anything in general. If you come back the next day, they will be dead, because one of the wife, it's a husband and a wife, the wife needs meds. So I'm not sure if you just steal the meds, they'll die, or if you steal anything, but excuse me, they, I never wanted to test the theory. So we're just not going to touch that at all. The looted gas station, though, is a great first area because it is... excuse me, oh my god. It's a great first area because it's chock full of stuff. Now, the broken toy, we can sell that. It's actually more valuable than you think, from what I've noticed, especially if you have Katya, who is good at bargaining. I saw this technique once before. I forgot the YouTuber who did it, unfortunately. But what he did was he left one pile of stuff right at the beginning of the area. So all you gotta do is just run up, grab the stuff, and then leave, and it's good. Because, you know what, I'm gonna leave the fertilizer in the front, because you don't have to worry about running out of time, because if you do run out of time while scavenging, the survivor will take about half a day to get back, and they could easily show up wounded. So, what I'm going to do this first time around with the scavenging, what I want to do is clear out as much debris as possible, so that when we come back, I don't have to bring the shovel and I can save a slot. What I can also do is I could probably leave the shovel here as well, but we will see. There's a lot of good stuff here. What I really need is food. That's what we did. Sugar I do not need right now. If I decide to make moonshine later, then I will use it, but not right now. There is a note under the table, not actually hidden, but it could be easily missed. From the style of handwriting, you could tell it was written by a woman, in a hurry. My lows. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. I could not wait any longer. I hid some jewelry inside the books. Look for them in the basement, inside the carton boxes, behind the barred door. Use it. Stay alive, please. God bless you. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I have never been the best with names. The medication we certainly need. That looks like a person, but I think, if memory serves me, they're friendly. I've played the hell out of this game. It's one of my top favorites. Like, it's one of, like, the best, to me, in my opinion, one of the best games ever made, simply because it just does everything right. It really gets, like, you really feel like, nope, it was a rat. So my memory does not serve me well. It's all good. The poor man had been caught by the shelling. What was he doing here? Oh, this poor man. Oh. Oh, I am so sorry, sir. May you rest in peace, good sir. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to tear down the barricade. I don't think there's any other debris. It might be downstairs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop off everything I don't need and get more of what I actually do need, which is components, wood, some parts, and just a bunch of food and water. Because I don't really need the weapon parts right now. I'm not going to be attacking anybody. Let's see, that's a barred door, so we're going to need a saw blade. But that's where we can get the jewelry. But we need an upgraded metal workshop. Like, see, here's a bunch of food and water. So I'm going to probably just take the 4, because we have some water. And going back to what Bruno can do, his attribute is a good cook. So he can actually use less fuel and water when cooking, which is great, because we definitely want to save as much as possible. So I'm going to put away one electrical part. Cigarettes we need because Bruno is a smoker. And I'm going to leave the electrical parts, because right now we can't really do anything with them besides make a radio. But I'm going to wait till about day 3 or 4 to make a radio, because it holds a lot of good information, but not information that we're going to be needing at the moment, since it's early game. But definitely, like, you want to definitely make a radio in the first week. Yeah, I'll take the sugar just to clear everything out. I'll take the sugar, I'll take whatever this is. I can also leave it in that pile right there. I could leave some stuff as well. So I'll have 2 places where I'm leaving supplies. That in there, I'll take the part. I think I'm gonna call it because it's 1 a.m. So the night is rounding out. I wish I could take the vegetables. I wish I had enough for... Oh, no, I do. I can. Oh, I had 2. Okay, so yeah, I can take the vegetables. And what I might do, actually, is I might leave the shovel because our base is cleared out, even if it isn't. Like, I could just have one person... Nope, did not want to do that. I could just have one person dig it out. It might take a little while, but it really isn't that bad. But I believe I did clear out everything. So I'm going to leave the shovel. And I'm going to take a stack of water and then just run to the exit. And then we will be coming back here at least 2 or 3 more times. Go. Alright, run to the exit. So yeah, I'd say 2 or 3 more times, just so we can get as many components and wood as possible, so we can upgrade our base. Especially because there is a special character, the trader. He comes every 3 days, and what you want to do is stock up like every now and then some valuable items, so you don't have to give him supplies that you could use. Alright, so day number 2. Marco is back. Okay. Lots of interesting items. The night was quiet. Excuse me. Okay, so Marco is hungry and tired. Pablo is still sick and tired, and Bruno is slightly wounded, but he is going to get up. And I'm going to have Pablo sleep. Zoom out a bit, so I can see everything. Now, when they're hungry, it's okay to leave them like that because they'll be regular hungry for 2 days. What I recommend people do is feed them when they're very hungry, because that's when they start to feel sluggish. But when they're regular hungry, it's really it's not terrible. Like some of these attributes you can push like an extra day, like tired, you can push to very tired. Hunger to very hungry. Ooh, okay, so I'm gonna make a stove first of all. I'm gonna make a stove. Bruno is going to make... I can't make a rainwater collector yet. Like I said, I'm gonna hold off on the radio. And we can make a lockpick, but I don't think there's anything I can lockpick at the gas station. And to upgrade it, we need 30 components, 15 wood, 5 parts. So we have the parts, we just need the components and the wood. And to make a saw blade, I think we need just regular components. But looking at our base, it looks pretty cleared out. Now Marco, I'm not gonna have him sleep, only because I can push it, and once he's very tired, I'm gonna have him sleep the whole day. Since Bruno is not cooking until tomorrow, I'm gonna have him sleep. And then Marco, I don't think there's anything to make an improved stove. Okay, we need 20 and 10. That's actually not bad. Marco, I don't think he can really do anything else. I mean, we can look at what we can make in the future. Like, we're gonna definitely need some fuel, so I'll make some of that with our remaining wood. So with fuel, you use it for moonshine, the heater, not the rainwater collector, but the stills, the heater, and a stove. And you can make wood, you can make fuel out of components, wood, and books. But components take 4 to make 1 piece of fuel. And the books, I don't like using the books because it's easier to just keep them around so people can read them. But if there's nothing else, I'm going to go over their bios. So Bruno, he is a good cook and he is a smoker. So the best way to keep him happy is to always have a stock of cigarettes. So he can indulge a bit. Nothing wrong with a little indulgence. I do so myself. But Bruno, before the war, I used to own a restaurant. I even had my own TV show, Bruno's Cuisine. I'm sure you've seen it. I visited beautiful places where I was filmed cooking exquisite dishes. All that seems of no importance now, don't you think? Nowadays, if you're lucky, you get your hands on some canned meat or a bag of rice. And who knows how long this war is going to last. Pavle. Before this whole mess begun, I lived with my wife and son in a better part of the city. I haven't seen them in a long time. I hope they are okay. I'm not doing so well, as you can see. Who needs football players during a war? Nobody cares about sports when every day can be their last. So I scavenged the ruins like everyone else, hoping for the best. And Marco. I thought I'd been through hell before. I'm a fireman. I've entered blazing buildings to save lives more times than I care to remember. But back then I had people teamed up against a common foe, namely the fire. Nowadays, your former neighbor can kill you because your grandparents spoke a different language than his. This is true hell on earth. And they do not have any addictions, just Bruno was a smoker, which is fine. If you check your inventory, you can actually see some thoughts that the characters like to write down. Our shelter offers a bit of reprieve from the horrors of war. We only have 1 chair, we have beds, and we sleep in decent conditions. If someone gets sick or wounded, they'll have a place to rest. We don't have a radio, we don't know what's going on in the city. We have a few books. A good book helps forget the horrors of war. Staying here is better than living in a complete ruin. Cigarettes consumed per day 3. We have breaches in the walls, our shelter is not safe, and we have to constantly be on guard. Yeah, a lot of information, but it's all useful information, and this game has a great way of kind of giving the player that information. Alright, so we have good on food. We have 1 vegetable, which can be made, which can make more complex food. That's the word for it. But now, since there's nothing else, I'm going to end the day. I'm going to have Bruno sleep. Pavle is going to guard. And Marco is going to scavenge again. We have a few more locations. The supermarket, which has danger, which could potentially mean that someone's lurking around and they will attack us on sight. And then we have the shelled school, which has some food, huge amount of materials, lots of meds, lots of parts. And I almost completely forgot that each location has a description. So what I am planning to do is I will, if I'm going to that place, I'll read the description. If I'm not going to that place, I won't waste you guys' time. So, looted gas station. Visited 1 day ago, 39%, lots of materials, some tools, huge amounts of weapons, lots of parts. This was one of the very first places people looted while fleeing from the city. There had been a few hour-long ceasefire intended to clean the whole area from civilians, but it was broken. Many people died, though neither side claimed responsibility to this day. Despite heavy shelling of the whole district, the station is in surprisingly decent shape. It may have been looted, but it might still be worth checking out. And yes, sir, it is. I will scavenge. I don't need to bring anything due to me leaving the shovel there, which I might continue to leave it here. Only because, like I said, we're going to be visiting this place multiple times. Let's see if it's still there. It is still here, along with everything else. So, let's get... This time, since we have a lot of food, I want to get mainly wood and components, so we can build more complex things. The shell casings we don't need right now. Only because we need a fully upgraded workbench. And you also need gunpowder to fill up the shell casings, which we do not have. Nor do we even have weapons to put in. So, that would also help if we had all of that. So this is actually a great haul right now, but what I want to do is... Oh, hello, don't mind me. I was taking care of an old friend of mine. Yeah, no problem, buddy. I'll leave you be. On the fresh grave lies a carefully folded little origami flower and an ID of a man named Milowitz. Oh, it's Milowitz! If that's how you say his name, I'm sorry if I botched it. Oh, damn, I hope he, I don't know if he saw the letter, I hope he did. Okay, leave the shell casings. And I'm gonna get more components. Let's see if there's any other parts. I could probably get some more parts, make a stack of 4. There's just one piece of wood. Let's check downstairs. I don't think I checked this pile yet. I did not. And one part, gunpowder, components of wood, and then this barred gate, which looks like I'm going to have to bring a saw blade and a lockpick. Okay, I think that's maybe... Okay. Let me check this front pile, see if I left any parts here. If not, I'm just going to go right home. And then, today's the day that Bruno cooks. Okay, no parts. Fertilizer I'm going to keep when we can... Once we have an improved workbench, we can make rat traps. And fertilizer is the best thing you can use for it. For the meantime. But that's in the future. Right now we're still in the first week. And in the first week you just want to build up your shelter. Get all the tools you need, get a feeling for the game itself, and then get a feeling for your surroundings. Day 3. Tonight I had a really good haul. Look what I got. Okay, 24 and 16 and 2. We were not rated. Marco is very tired. Pablo is still sick. Bruno slept poorly, unfortunately. Is still wounded. Pablo is still sick. Okay, so actually they will not be eating today because they're still regular hungry, so I'm just going to have these two guys sleep. Bruno is... I know he slept poorly, but he is going to... Alright, Pablo, you sleep. And Marco will sleep. Because Marco is our most trusted scavenger. Okay, let's see. What do I want to create? I definitely want to create a rainwater collector. And what this does is that when you place a filter in it, what it does is it'll collect 4 pieces of water, and every few hours, and that's good because you'll always have a constant supply of water. It's actually recommended that you do 2 of these just to maximize the amount of water that you can get. Let's see how many. 4 water takes about half an hour. Some relatively clean water. You'll need to prepare a good meal. You'll need it to prepare a good meal or make alcohol. And I know some people probably think, why would I need to create alcohol? It's not, I don't want my characters drunk. And that is correct. You do not want your people intoxicated. Which, it is a cure if they're broken or depressed. It is a temporary cure, where if you have them drink, they'll get drunk and kind of forget about their woes for a bit. but then they will wake up the next day hungover and they will not be able to work very efficiently. So you kind of want to avoid doing that at all costs. You'd rather, if they're sad, depressed, etc., what you would realistically want to do is have them speak with a character. Mainly, if you get lucky enough, Zlata, because Zlata's good at bolstering spirits, is what they call, is what the game calls it. Basically means, oh my god, that is the doggo. She is a rambunctious mutt. I do apologize. I will close the door. Although her bark carries, so I do apologize for that. So, yeah, if you happen to get Zlata throughout the day, throughout your playthrough, she can bolster people's spirits and make them more, say like more like less sad, more happy. But it really depends on the character themselves and what you did in your playthrough, because they could end up truly sad. If you're killing and stealing, then they might not be able to come back from their situation. It'll just be one moment. I gotta go see what she's barking at. Alright, temporary delays aside, this is why I actually plan to have a specific stream schedule. I'm gonna make 2 filters actually, use up some of the components. I plan to stream every Wednesday because my job situation allows it, but also I have the house to myself. I still live with the fam, and when I have the house to myself, nobody's here. My dog Summer goes to daycare, everybody's going to work. Then I could just stream uninterrupted. But today I was feeling a little anxious, and I was like, you know what, I gotta stream. I want to get back into it a little bit, and I like doing it for fun, so here we are. And now that that is in, I think Pavle, they're no longer tired. Well, Marco is a little tired. Pavle is not tired, but he's still sick and recovering. And I think we're going to end the day off here. We're going back to the same location, but today Pavle's going to guard. Bruno is sleeping in the bed. And Marco is no longer tired, he is just hungry. Hopefully I don't have to use bandages or medicine on them. Mainly because they're only slightly sick and wounded. But if it progresses, then I might not have a choice. So we shall see what the results entail. So I think for this stream, I'm gonna do a full 7 days, and then we can continue on next time. We'll continue where we left off, but I think a full, like, 7 days is a good introductory point. And I actually never checked up here. We have a little pile of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, a little pile, yep. Like I said, a little pile of stuff, but not too shabby. I know here is just literally one piece of wood. So we'll get rid of that. And then down here, we'll get rid of this pile. And then we might steal some stuff from the fridge. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely loot the fridge. We got some good stuff. And I think we just have those two little piles, one on the end, one on each end. So I'm going to leave what we don't need and take what we really do need. So we do not need gunpowder, the broken toy, or the sugar. I'll take the herbs. I will take the electrical parts and the weapon parts. Let me see what I have on the other end. If I don't need anything, I'm going to take the shovel back. But we shall see. I'll take the wood. And then if this is all that's left, then I'm just going to take the shovel back. Yeah. I'll take the shovel back. And I think we're gonna have to move on to another area after this, which will be nice, a nice change of scenery. But since we don't have anything that we could really use at the moment, then yeah, alright. Let us be off. Marco is back before sunrise. Loading, loading, loading. This game can also get very addictive. It really, like, once you get into it, it's like you just feel like you can't stop. At least in my opinion. I feel like I can never stop when I start playing. Look at all this stuff. I wish I could bring back so much every night. Ah, shit. We got raided. Okay, so Bruno... Okay, so we were attacked that night. Someone tried to rob us. They were just a couple scavengers, so they didn't do much harm. Too bad we had no weapons. Bruno was wounded, but the attackers didn't steal anything. We should put more people on guard. Marco has been searching for supplies and brought back some interesting things. Bruno has a deep wound he could do with some bandages. So, yeah, Bruno is officially wounded. He is no longer slightly wounded. So now we have no choice but to use some bandages. He is also sad, which is not what we want, because we don't want him in a depressed state. We kind of need him for a great many things, including guarding and food prep. So we're going to make 3 food. And we'll have these guys come up for their rations. And we actually have 2 bios. Day 4, my story. All this shelling, sniper fire, and lack of supplies makes you want to hide away, sit down, and cry. But we cannot let them crush our spirit. We have to show them that they can't take away our dignity. It's difficult here, but you know how we did it on our street. Are there any animals left in the city? I'm so hungry I'd even eat a rat or a pigeon. And nothing from Marco. Well, not to worry about the hunger. You are cooking us some lovely meals. Alright, so you eat first because you are injured. Yes, I know you wouldn't mind another helping, but it's better, it's more efficient to do it this way. Alright, so can one of us bandage him, or is he gonna bandage himself? He's probably gonna have to bandage himself. Nope, running back and forth. Alright, so Bruno, you are in need of some bandages. And I'm gonna put him to sleep after that. Marco is just tired, so that's fine. And our trader friend has arrived, so since Pavle is right here, Bruno, you go to sleep. Lord Meister, hi, how are you today, my good sir or madam? How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Alright, so Mr. Franco, my favorite person. I'm a guy. Well, hello, good sir. Welcome to the stream. Alright, so, you are just in time to see me trade off some goods to this lovely gentleman. And since I'm looting most of these components, parts, wood, all that, what I want to do is take all the good stuff. Where is your webcam? I am currently not doing one. I might move away from the webcam, but if people want it back, I'll see if I can dig up the PlayStation one. I was actually looking for it, but I couldn't really find it. Oh god. That's my phone. Yeah, I mean, the webcam was fun. Not gonna, like, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Alright, so since we don't want... okay. Yeah, we definitely want to find we can have a deal, but we want to push it as far as we can. So I think that's about as far as we can go. Nope, he will not allow another part. So I think we have a good trade here. It's always better to have one. Yeah, that is true. It is good to have one, so I will, for the future, I will see if I can dig up the PlayStation camera. And I might check a drawer here, actually. Yep, alright. I got it in a drawer, so I knew I had it somewhere. So, there, from now on, I will be having a webcam to help enhance, kind of enhance the experience. 4K and on a lemon. I like it. Alright, so I will be taking this deal, Franco. We have no use for you because we have nothing really valuable to give you, and I don't want to give up any of our materials. Or better yet, I'm not going to give up our food either. So, with our new stuff, let's see what we can make. I don't need to make any filters, so I'm just going to get the rainwater collector going with our extra filters. And I might see if I can upgrade one of our benches. And I'm going to push creating the radio another day. Just because I think we have more things that take priority. But if we have some leftover components, I'll make the radio. So let me check the... okay, yep, we can make an improved metal workbench, which I'm going to make right now. And if I can make a saw blade, then I'm going to make that and a lockpick, and I'm going to go back to the looted gas station for the more valuable things behind that locked door. Let's see. No, we lack cigarettes. We definitely do. I might, I'll see if I can make an herbal workshop so we can make some herbal cigarettes. 1, to trade, and 2, to make some people happy. Alright, so I think we're going to have just enough for both. A saw blade and a lockpick. Which, definitely lucky. Definitely, it's very lucky. So that's our saw blade, and yep. And with the improved metal workbench, you can make saw blades, you can make a hatchet, which is good for collecting wood and fuel from, like, from chairs, benches, cabinets. You can fix up guns that have been broken, and a broken helmet. I definitely want to create a knife next time I get more parts and components. Because a knife, if we're going to be getting raided, then we definitely need something to defend ourselves with. Everybody is still sleeping. Bruno is still sad. Alright, do we have it? Yes, we do. Alright. With that being said, it's time to end the day. Alright, huge amounts of weapons. Visit Dago. Okay, so we're 85% done, so I'm going to... Alright, you're going to sleep, you're going to guard, and you're going to scavenge. Loot gas station. Yep, looted gas station. Take my 2 one-off items. Why is the guy sad? So, he's sad because he's he was very hungry at the beginning. We fed him, but also because he's been wounded for a long time now. And when people are wounded, their morale goes down in this game. Like if they're wounded, sick, so their morale has a chance to go down. But also, but also, he's a smoker, and so since we lack cigarettes, he has no way of indulging. So he's kind of like dealing with a bit of withdrawal. Oh, good, really good. So we have medication, which is great. We have moonshine, which we can sell. We have shell casing, gunpowder, and a bullet, which we can't use yet because we don't have any weapons. We have 2 real tobacco cigarettes, not that herbal crap or the the roll-up ones, but no, ooh, books and jewelry. Nice. Like the note said, books and jewelry. Alright, it's time to clear this place out 100%. I'm gonna get my 1 pile here, and then I'll get the rest of the other pile. Because those stack pretty nicely. At least he'll have... I mean, unfortunately he consumes 3 cigarettes a day. So, and unfortunately we only have 2, but maybe he'll be fine with just a couple of real ones. And that concludes the looted gas station. We have completely looted this whole place. There are no other materials here, so coming here would be absolutely useless and a waste of a night because we have nothing to bring back. So that is 100% cleared. That's actually crazy to think that in just 4 days we have completely looted an entire area. Alright, let's see what the night had. I got the medicine, I hope it'll help. That's right, Pablo is still sick. Pablo clearly isn't well, he could do with some pills, so yeah, they're both... Okay, so he's slightly wounded, he's recovering. Pablo also progressed to sick instead of slightly sick. So, thankfully we have medication, you take that. Marco is very tired. So Pablo's on meds, you're slightly wounded, so I'm gonna have you work for the day, and then you're gonna sleep all night long, hopefully to recover. And same with Pablo, he's gonna sleep for the entire day because he is sick, and I think that's more important to rest than just being slightly wounded, which is the equivalent of like maybe a gash or 2, a couple bruises. Marco is very tired, and I can't have him be too slow because we do not know what the other places entail. And the 2 cigarettes, yeah, cigarettes consumed per day 3. So I'm actually going to see if I can improve the workbench. Nope, wait, nope, cannot control it today. I cannot. So I need 2 more parts, 14 components, and 4 wood. So that's what we're gonna have to do tonight, is get as much of that as we can. Which is fine because we are good on food. I can see it in the bottom right. 3 raw food, 1 vegetable. And we'll have plenty of water. Everybody is on the mend. Yep, we use up all our components, all the wood, but at least we have things to trade. And when the trader comes back in 2 days, I think he's coming back. Oh wait, we have someone at the door. Oh, we have some kids. Okay, you have a sick mom. Wait, nope. We live several blocks away from here. Our mom's very ill. She needs medications. Could you please spare any? Without your help, she will die. After Daddy went to fight, we only have her. Please help us save her. Okay, I feel like I can't say no. I feel like we actually do Yeah, no question about it. We're gonna help him. And Bruno is no longer sad. Thank you. Let's quickly get to messing with our mom. Bruno, what do you have to say? Meds are hard to come by, but we did the right thing. We just couldn't leave those poor kids without help. That would be callous. Marco, what do you have to say? Those kids are very brave. They risk their lives walking around the neighborhood to save their mother. I agree with all three of them. And with that being said, I'm glad I didn't end the day early. And now that we did a good thing, Bruno's no longer sad. He is now, I believe, normal. I hope he's a little happier that we did a good thing. But as he sits here, since we don't have anything left to do, I'm not going to waste any time. Okay, so he's going to sleep. I don't like having him guard when he's slightly wounded, but I'm going to go for it. The looted gas station is 100%, nothing left. Since there's danger at the supermarket and I don't have a weapon, I'm not going to do anything yet. I'm going to go to the shelled school, which, like I said, I'm going to read the description of everywhere that I'm going to. The school has been shelled several times. Unfortunately, most of the cellars have collapsed, so it might be a good idea to bring a shovel and maybe some other tools. They say some homeless people have taken refuge inside the building. Alright, let's take a shovel and clear out as much as we can in the first night. Ugh. Loading, loading. See, war is not a playground. Sometimes the situation will force you to get into a fight. You can meet people who will be hostile towards you. Remember that you are not defenseless. I heard they had classes when the shelling started. Poor kids. Right, so what that's telling us is that combat is in fact a thing in this game. It's not just scavenging and doing all that. Like, there is actually... there are other people around who can potentially pose some problems. That was a rat. Now, it really depends on if they're going to be hostile on sight, or they're just going to be like, hey, we're both scavenging, just leave us be. And that's a big roll of the dice right there. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of debris. So I'm glad so this first night I'm gonna get what I can, clear out what I can, so I don't have to come back multiple times with a shovel. Holy, that's a lot of stuff right there. I don't know if I want to take back all that wood. I kind of want to take back some components too. But that's a great start. That is barred. That's okay. They took my food again. So, okay, so we have the homeless. So the homeless people are not hostile. At least to my knowledge. There is a group that are down in the basement. They have a special box, and all they ask is that you don't touch that box. Now, I don't remember what is inside it exactly, but I'm gonna do 5 and 5, so they're probably gonna be herbal meds. I think it's like valuables and alcohol. So yeah, all they say is all they tell you to do is don't touch the box, and they won't have any trouble. It's a note left for someone. I prepared this secret stash behind the fridge if like you asked. I already put some stuff there so you can see if it works for you. Alright, so there's some secret stuff behind that fridge right there. Look. could be behind here. Oh. Not bad, not bad at all. I'm surprised they're okay with me taking all this stuff. That is all. Oh my god. This place is just chock full of materials. And that right there, those are, that's a, that right there is their secret little vegetable garden. We want to get that. Now, it's going to be considered stealing and people might be upset about it, but I think they're going to be just fine. So, I'm going to come back here with a couple saw blades. Hopefully I don't get caught. And before I leave, I'm going to clear out the rest of the debris so I can not have to bring a shovel again. Also, there was a locked door, so I might bring a lockpick too. The good thing about the saw blade and the lockpick is that they're one-off. I know most people say just make a crowbar for the locked doors, but I think it's definitely too loud. It's one of the loudest actions you can do, spreading across the entire map. But not only that, it takes up an inventory space. Okay, what's in this pile? More components, more wood. So good. This place is just a absolute gold mine for materials. Alright, so okay, that door is barred there. This one's barred here, but I can just tear off the boards. Barred doors are never really a problem. The only way you can get them is just to rip off the wood, so it's never that bad. Bar 2, but they have the gated. Alright, so let's go home because it's 2:50. It's almost the morning. Excuse me. Oh my god, my bad. I am sorry. Day 6. We've been ready to get... Oh, come on. Someone tried to rob... We were attacked at night. Someone tried to rob us. They didn't seem very determined, so they didn't do much harm. Too bad we had no weapons, and none of us were wounded, but the attackers walked off with many valuable things. We should put more people on guard. Things they stole. They stole food and water. Of all the things they could steal, they steal food. Let's get some food at all costs. Gotta think of some way to do it. I used to be an optimist, one of those people who would have sworn that war wouldn't come. Wars happen far away in third world countries, or so I thought. Even when I was listening to the news, getting scarier day by day, I did not believe all that was about to happen. It really is crazy to think how their lives have been impacted. Like, so much so, like, during wartime, you really don't think about it too much until, like, you really see, like, what this game is portraying. So, I need 3 meals, but I only have 2 food. They stole all the food. Alright, I'm gonna have to make, well, the vegetables, and then we... Yep, I gotta go back and I gotta steal their food. At least the vegetables. Because this is nuts. We are not doing well, and I'm gonna see if I can make a knife. I don't know if I have any weapon parts. I need 1 weapon part, but I also need it for the saw blade. Marco, you eat. Nope, Marco, eat. Pablo's sitting. Bruno is going to have to make our last piece of food. This is not good. Yeah, we're going to have to make the saw blades so we can get into those other places and get their vegetables, because if anything, even if we don't have raw food, we can still have them eat the vegetables, even though it takes 2 to make them not hungry. Well, not very hungry. But I think there's 6 in the in that little back area, but again, I'm not sure. But we're desperate. But if things get too desperate, we can always go to St. Mary's Church and we can trade with the pastor. But he might ask a lot for some food. Take some water here. Alright, I made the saw blades, now I need a lockpick. We are out of cigarettes. He is smoking the last of the cigarettes. We have moonshine, we have weapon parts that we can trade, we have jewelry we can trade, and broken toys. So, when the trader comes tomorrow, we'll actually be close to the end of the stream. A little over an hour. I like to stream for a little over an hour. Not too long, not too short. And like I said, all streams will be uploaded to YouTube, so that even if you miss one of our once-a-week streams, they will be up on YouTube. In terms of other videos, I'm going to keep uploading shorts of whatever I can find in the old videos. And we'll see about the future when it comes to certain Let's Plays. Because we're all busy as heck. So, I want... One thing I have planned is I want to redo our Until Dawn playthrough, because I found that it was not the best, in my opinion. It was very monotone. Our voices were monotone, you couldn't hear the game. It was just like so many different problems that could have been avoided if we had some better planning. But enough about all that. Let's get our final night of scavenging out of the way, and then we will see. Okay, if we need more people on guard, I'm gonna have both of them guard. So we have some more places: the semi-detached house, the military outpost, which you do not go there unless you have you got a plan for like a whole day, because that place is swarming with guards. And if you get shot, you're dead. Like, well, you're not immediately dead, but you'll be severely wounded, which takes a lot of bandages to... You gotta keep dressing it. Which, that alone is like... You gotta make sure you have like 3 or 4 bandages, but also... The bandages also could not work, and you could just end up dying. And I would recommend you just stay away from that entirely. You stay away from the military outpost, unless you have Roman, the soldier, and you bring him in and you can kind of manage like a bit of a stealthy approach. Like if you bring him in with a knife, he could take out a lot of the soldiers and theoretically clear it out, because the reward is just so good. Like it's a whole outpost full of like food, materials, weapons, weapon parts. It's one of like it's a very high yielding place, but the risk is definitely there. Good thing I have the saw blade. Let's start cutting. Let's see, we are in a classroom, which is horrifying to think about. So we have coffee beans, pure alcohol, roll-up cigarettes, and a damaged helmet. That is great. Right, so all this stuff we can barter, which I'm going to do. But that's still terrifying to think that this is in a classroom. I'll take the electrical part and I'll tear down the boards. But we desperately need food, which I don't know how much is left here. And we have a little thing we can inspect. I found a letter. Mom, it's terrible. A girl I know was shot today by a man called Sniper. I can't believe I won't see her again. She was such a kind girl. What did she do to this Sniper? They turned off the electricity and the teacher said we would have to stay in school a little longer today. I don't know why. I want to see you and Dad already. At least they promised to bring you this letter. Will you come and take me home? Damn. That hits hard. That's another thing you don't think about, and I love that this game tackles, is the impact that war can have on children. Particularly because they just simply cannot grasp like what is actually happening. And it's just like, not to get philosophical or anything, but it's just like really like we're emotional. But it's just crazy to think about. So now the door is grated, but I can get through using my saw blade. So we're gonna be stealing, which might make some people very upset. But we need the food. Unfortunately, we need the food. Okay, so it's only, unfortunately, it's only 4 vegetables. And it was private property. Even though I don't know why all of this doesn't constitute as private property, but nevertheless. Now, I did have a thing I could lock. Yeah, it was a door up here. And that was the letter for the stash. So at least now we'll have another slot. I can drink water. What is in here? Besides a hole that leads down to them. Just 3 parts. That seems... that doesn't seem very good for something you had to bring a lockpick or a crowbar to. It seems like... should have put something a little more valuable there, but... what am I to say? I ain't no game designer, I'm just a game player. Alright, let us go back. I hope that we are not raided. I hope someone's feeling better, but I doubt it because they didn't sleep. And I might have Marco skip a day of sleep in favor of him just working all day and letting the others sleep so they can not be slightly wounded and sick. Day number 7. Let's see what this day will yield, and I will call it a stream. Okay, night was calm, thankfully. Slightly sick, slightly wounded. Okay, so this is good. This is actually very good. What matters is that we have supplies. How we got them is less of concern. Marco did it for us. We should be thankful. Poor people. I know it was cruel to take their supplies, but it's either them or us. Alright, so I'm going to leave it off here for this stream. This was a really nice... it was really nice to actually get back and do it. I enjoyed myself thoroughly, and I hope that everyone here enjoyed the stream. I will be uploading this either later on today or early tomorrow. Excuse me. But it feels nice to get back, you know. It really does. And it's a fun thing to do. You know, we do it for fun. And we have a nice time doing it. That being said, I am Father Panda, representing the Night Wolves. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Have a wonderful day.